Hi, my name is Autif Kamal, and this is episode 40 of Be Logical. My question for you is whether a murderer is always completely responsible for the deaths of his or her victims. And later on, I will relate this to a specific story. Before I do that, I want to give you a little background on the range of penalties or sentences that can be given to a person who commits a murder act. In the United States, the range of prison sentences go anywhere from 5 years to life or death, and that depends on a variety of factors. Some of those are the state that the murder act occurs in, because different states have different penalties for murder acts, and also it depends on the severity and the circumstances of the murder act. Okay, now in Ohio in 1987, Billy Slagle stabbed a victim 17 times. He's been imprisoned ever since 1987, but he hasn't received a life sentence. But I've heard a lot of people saying that he got the death sentence. Now, I'm not entirely convinced that he has gotten the death sentence, because I just haven't seen any information from someone official, like a judge, saying that. So it's very possible, but I haven't seen the evidence to be convinced of that yet. Before I continue, this episode is based on an article written by Andrew Welsh Huggins, who writes for the Associated Press. The name of the article he wrote is "In Twist, Prosecutors Seek Mercy for Condemned Man." Now, 2 years ago, the Ohio Parole Board was considering clemency for Billy. It did not succeed. If it had succeeded, his prison sentence would have ended. And Joe Wilhelm, a federal public defender, gave some reasons for why Billy should receive clemency. And the reason he gave was that Billy was exposed to alcohol ever since being in his mother's womb. Okay. Now, how do we know that? Well, the only way we could know that is if we had access to Billy's birth records, because my guess is that Billy's birth records would have details like that. Okay? But anyway, on the basis, if it's true, that Billy was exposed to alcohol since being in the mother's womb, he says that Billy's brain was broken down by alcohol and drug abuse at the time of the crime. So he's saying it's not just that Billy had the intention to kill someone, but it's also that this alcohol and drug abuse caused him to commit these murder acts. So if Billy is given clemency, it means two things. Number one, that Billy Slagle served the appropriate punishment and doesn't need to serve any more punishment. And number two, that Billy Slagle was not fully responsible for his crime. If he was not fully responsible, though, then that means that his mother was partially responsible, since presumably Billy Slagle's mother independently made the decision to drink the alcohol, and that's what would make her partially responsible. So if she is partially responsible, that means that she should also be punished to the extent that her actions led to the crime, the murder acts committed by Billy Slagle. But my guess is that's not what's going to happen. Now, should Billy be set free if he's ready to join civil society? Yes, but if he isn't ready to join civil society, then my personal opinion is that he should remain imprisoned. And because I don't think there's really any other choice, if he isn't ready to join civil society, to me that means that it's still possible that he could kill other people, and that's just not the kind of risk you want to take. If it's true that alcohol and drug abuse broke down his mind, then why would his circumstances be any different when he leaves jail? How do we know he wouldn't kill someone else after he leaves prison? And if we don't know the answer to that, then I think the safest thing to do is to keep him in prison. At the very least, anyway. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Be Logical, and thank you.